Recording. Hello everyone, welcome to my Winter Remedies doTERRA Essential Oils class. My name is Denise and I am happy to be here today. If you can hear it, I actually have a bit of the sniffles at the moment. It happened a couple of days ago. I found my head getting a little bit stuffy, and this morning I woke up, had a little bit of a sore throat and a little bit of a runny nose. So I thought, well, why not just do an essential oils class on the flu bomb? So I contacted everybody, and we've got a couple of people here watching me do this video, and I'm recording it at the moment. And if I can keep it to a reasonable length, I can post in the group and people can watch. So winter remedies, the essential oils are very useful for winter, in that they can help us to feel a little bit more comfortable if for some reason we do get a cold or a flu or a cough. Now, just remember, if you do feel sick and it doesn't get better, you need to go and see your doctor. So essential oils are to help you treat symptoms, and they're not as a replacement for medical care and attention. So let's get started. So winter remedies. What essential oils can we use to help us to feel a little bit better during winter and the cold months? So in this class, we're going to have a look at the difference between a cold versus the flu. And we all know that flus are common in cold weather. We're going to have a look at the flu bomb and the essential oils that go up to make the flu bomb. And we'll also have a look at something called sinus relief. Why is it that some people suffer from sinus so terribly during the winter months? So we've got a cold and flu bomb here, and the cold and flu bomb is made up of 5 different essential oils. This is a recipe. If you like, I can post it in the group. A snapshot of this recipe, and we are going to make, after the introduction, we're going to make 3 essential oil DIYs. I will show you how to put essential oils in a capsule, how to use the flu bomb in a roller bottle, and also in a spray bottle. Okay. So tea tree oil, also known as melaleuca, it's an Australian oil that is so terribly common throughout Australia. In fact, it was only really when I left Australia that I realised just how much Australia smells of tea tree oil and also eucalyptus. It's as common as eucalyptus in Australia. We use it in cleaning products. We use it in hair products. It's used to sterilise things. So tea tree oil is grown in Australia. It's readily available. doTERRA purchases their tea tree oil from Australia, and they also make sure that they get the highest quality tea tree oil, which goes into the singles and the blends that we have available to us. It is possible to take tea tree oil internally. If you are uncertain about taking any of the essential oils internally, then there's no compulsion to. Some people believe very strongly that we shouldn't take any essential oils internally, and yet there are a number of oils that have been shown to be quite safe to take internally. Tea tree has the benefits of boosting our immune system. And it also has a very nice and clean fragrance. It reminds me of the Australian bush. So I'm sure that for other people, it harkens memories of being in the outdoors. The other oil that we use is, I'm just going to move this very quickly. Oops, pop myself down there. The other oil that we use is frankincense. Frankincense is made from the bark of a tree. It's actually the sap that comes from the bark of a tree. Frankincense, the olibanum, I think that's how Boswellia. The tree actually grows in some very inhospitable places. So, for example, it's grown in parts of Africa, and I have seen pictures of it growing out the sides of a cliff, like a rock face. So it's a very hardy tree growing in very difficult environments. And how they harvest it is they cut the bark of the tree and they take the sap, and you can see examples of it here. It hardens into small rocks and pellets. Now, I've watched videos about the frankincense harvesting by doTERRA. And the difference between the frankincense of doTERRA is that they have a number of different species of Boswellia trees that they harvest from. So the quality of the oils, of the frankincense essential oils, is very different from some regular ones. So the benefits of frankincense is that it can help to eliminate the phlegm that you get when you've got a cold. It's an anti-inflammatory as well. It also helps to expand the oxygenation of the airways and your circulatory system, which helps you to recover a lot faster. You will find that most people using frankincense use it as an oil to enhance the qualities of other oils as well. So it's generally added to a blend to just boost the effects of it. And it also smells very, very nice. It reminds me of sandalwood. Sandalwood and frankincense are two of my favorite wood oils, as well as cedarwood. Now, the other oil that's used in it is lemon. The lemon essential oil is made from the skin of the lemon, not the juice. And it takes quite a few lemons to be able to get a bottle of lemon essential oil. And I believe that the lemons are sourced in Portugal or in northern France. Northern France? Southern France, I think. Portugal and southern France. And that is because of the sunshine and the climate there produces an essential a lemon that has a high citrus content, neem oil in the actual skin. I remember listening to a video on the doTERRA oils, and they say that like doTERRA is an American company, and they do not source their lemons from California, which is also an area that grows a lot of lemons because the climate is very different. So they've actually gone to places in the world where they think the quality of the essential oils is the highest, rather than what it's just convenient. And I love lemon. I use lemon a lot. In fact, the two oils that I have to say that are three oils that I use the most are lemon, rosemary, and orange. And I use lemon in a lot of cleaning products. I find that it helps to get the floors clean. It just gives a nice freshness to everything. And it's not an expensive oil as well. So you can use it just to freshen the air as well. Oh, and despite what people are saying, I'm not a big one on taking lemon essential oil and water in the morning. I don't really think that it is as effective as some people say. I would use it more for cleaning and just invigorating smells around the place. So the other one is oregano. Now, I'd have to say, out of the starter kit of the essential oils, oregano is probably my least favorite, but it is very useful. Oregano has a lot of antioxidants in it. As the plant itself, if it's digested, it has high levels of phytochemicals, and it also has flavonoids. It's really high in nutrients. And the actual oil itself, I find, is quite pungent, but it's very effective for killing bacteria. And, well, as it says, it's antimicrobial. I've had problems during summertime with athlete's foot, and I've used oregano to help clear it up. And it's quite strong, but it did work quite well. Now, you do need to be careful if you're not familiar with using oregano. It's when it touches your skin, it can be very hot. So once you make this blend, be very careful about putting it, for example, directly on your skin, unless you use a fractionated coconut oil like the FCO to break it down and dilute it. Okay. Yeah. So oregano is very useful, but its smell is one of those ones that you either like or you don't like. The other oil is a blend. It's called On Guard. Let me see if I've got tea tree, frankincense. Yep, that's the last oil, On Guard. And it's a blend of cinnamon and clove. It's also a very pungent oil. I think it's also got some orange in it as well. Let me have a look. Well, they've only covered it up. It's mostly got clove and cinnamon and various blends thereof, star anise, and it has a very, very pungent, very, very pungent smell, but it is very effective, and it's used in a lot of the cleaning products that doTERRA has. I probably would say that generally the cleaning I go for the lemon oils because I like the lighter, fresher smell. But if you, for example, you had someone in the family who was sick and you just wanted to make sure that things are a little bit more clean, then I would go for something like On Guard. And this blend that we're actually going to show you how to make, another company calls it Thieves Blend. Okay, it's a mixture of different oils that are put together. And the story goes that during the Middle Ages, when there were epidemics of the plague and people were dying, that thieves used to break into people's houses and they would use essential oils and strong herbs and spices packed in face masks over their face to stop them from getting the disease while they ransacked houses, which is rather an unpleasant story, but it spread the idea that diseases could sometimes be transmitted through bad smells, and that if we used essential oils and masks to protect ourselves, then we could avoid diseases. So the On Guard is often used. It's also got rosemary, eucalyptus, just saw that. It's also used as a boost for your immunity. Okay, so how to tell if you have a cold or a flu. Okay, so we've got this little chart here. I wonder if this will come up nicely on the screen. I'll just pop myself over there so you can see this easily. Okay, so for example, if you've got a fever, then it's rare with a cold, but it's pretty common with the flu. If you have coughing, hacking or dry or mucus, that is more common with cold. I find with the coughing, there are a couple of things. One is I would avoid dairy products. If you're taking dairy products and you have a cough that has mucus, then because dairy products often stimulate mucus. If, however, you have a dry cough, and I've noticed a number of people here in Ningbo walking around have got these dry coughs that seem to be constantly tickling their chest, then I would probably use this particular blend as an inhalant. So for example, put it in a bowl of hot water and then pop some essential oil, some of the flu bomb, and then pop a towel over your head and then inhale it. It should help to ease that dry cough. If colds do not have body aches, but flus do. Flus have chills and they have more tiredness. But as it says here, sneezing is common in colds. but they're not common in flus. Headaches are more common in flus, but not common in colds. And sore throats are usually more present in colds than they are in flus. So it's not that difficult to be able to differentiate between the two. I think most people, if they end up having a cold, their body tends to deal with it fairly quickly, whereas the flu can wipe you out for a few days and leave you feeling pretty weak and unpleasant. Let's see, what have we got here? Okay, so if you suffer from sinus, this is a blend that is very useful to help you to relieve the blockages. Now, sinus is an inflammation of the sinuses. It too can be caused by external pollutants. So, for example, sometimes the air is very, very dry. You can be inhaling some dust and some mites in the air, and possibly even some pollution, and then for example, if your immunity is fairly low, your sinuses can become inflamed. I've noticed here in Ningbo at the moment the air is extremely dry. Whenever I go to push the button on the escalator and lift downstairs, I get an electric shock. That just shows you how dry the air is. So this particular blend is made of eucalyptus, rosemary, and two blends, which is digestion and breathe. And digestion has a number of different oils in it. It's very good if you're having digestive issues. You can rub it on the outside of your tummy. But what it does is that the particular oils in it, ginger, fennel, and coriander, they actually stop the spasming that happens that causes stomach discomfort. I find that, for example, if I increase the amount of fiber in my diet and it is more than I'm used to, and I start to get a bit of a tummy ache or just a bit of an adjustment problem to a change in diet, then I will use digestion frequently. I just I just carry a little roller bottle of it, probably behind me somewhere. I carry a little roller bottle of it and I just rub it on my tummy. And it works quite effectively. So why is it used in the sinus relief blend? It's very effective. I have used this when I did have a blocked nose at one stage, but generally I'm in such good health that I don't usually have to go and use this sort of thing. But what it does is it stops the spasming. So when you have inflammation in your sinuses, sometimes they can be blocked, but they can also be spasming. And that's what causes the pain and the headache. And I think it's the fennel more than anything else. It just slows the spasming down. So instead of going like this, which is quite ineffective and painful, it just goes like this. And so you actually find using the sinus relief that you actually feel your sinuses being drained. Now, the other blended oil that goes into it is the Breathe blend. Now, sometimes you see that written as easy air. I think that's often how it's traded here in China as easy air, and it has a number of your mint oils in it, and it helps with opening up the airways. So opening up the airways and also opening up just the passages in your nose. So between digestion and breathe, they work on that particular area just to help it open up so that you can drain the mucus out. And I guess the eucalyptus is often used to sort of help cleanse any of the bacteria that's floating around and causing some of these infections. Rosemary is a relaxant as well. It helps to calm things down. I use rosemary a lot when I'm studying. It just helps me to get clarity of thought. And it's also a very pleasant blend. So what you can do there is just mix those in equal quantities, just in a small bottle, okay? And then apply it to the back of your neck. Now, if you like, you can add some carrier oil to it and use it in a roller bottle. You can put it on your nose, but be careful not to get it in your eyes because digestion, it's not so much digestion. I think it's, yeah, just be very careful not to get it too close to your eyes. So generally speaking, we put the oils on either side of the face there. Okay. And other things to remember: blow your nose often and the correct way, and dispose of your tissues in a healthy and civilized manner. It depends with the nasal wash. I wouldn't wash your nose too often. What I would do is when you're in the shower, if you happen to have a shower once a day, I would cleanse your nose in the shower. The moisture in the air in the shower will get the mucus going in your nose, and it will help you to sort of cleanse anything that's sort of blocked or backed up there, or say perhaps it's dried, and it will help you to cleanse that out. But I wouldn't wash your nose more than once or twice a day. Okay. Of course, stay warm and rested. You can gargle with On Guard, or you can gargle with the flu bomb recipe that I'm going to show you. Yes, so take a steamy shower, and you can put a few drops of your favorite oils on the floor, on the walls in the shower. It'll just make a nice, very aromatic sauna for you. You can use a salve underneath your nose as well. For several months, for some reason, I do not know why, I felt like the inside of my nose was very, very dry. And I felt like it was always like the skin was sort of broken. I think there may have been something in the air here. And so I was using a salve just inside my nose just to keep it moist so that it didn't get dry and hard. Yes, and so you can apply hot and cold packs around your congested sinuses to open them up and then help them to relax. Sleep with an extra pillow underneath your bed if you need to be upright. And also be aware that if you are traveling on an airplane, it could be very uncomfortable. So if you're going to take international or domestic flights, perhaps see your doctor about getting an antihistamine to help clean it up. I generally don't recommend taking too many antihistamines, but if you're traveling and it's uncomfortable, and it can get very uncomfortable with the blocked sinuses, then I would consider that worthwhile doing at that stage. Okay, I think that's the last of the PPT. It is. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to show you how to do the hands-on. How are we going for time there? I think we've got a couple of minutes. Okay, so there you go. You can hear me. I've got a little bit of a cough. So what I've got here is, I'm not sure if you can see this. I'll hold it up closer. I've got a spray bottle. Okay, it's dark colored so that, for example, if the oils are inside, it's protected from sunlight. We want to keep the oils out of the sunlight. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I have a separate bottle here, and I'm going to make up a blend of essential oils. Now, let me see. I'm just going to go back and check my recipe. Goodness me. Okay, let me see. Okay, so 2 drops of tea tree. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these by 5. 2, 3, 4, 4. So frankincense and lemon. Okay, tea tree and frankincense, sorry. Tea tree and frankincense, oregano, and then On Guard. Okay, so I'll try and hold these up to the screen. Okay, so I've got my little bottle here. Okay, you should be able to see me on this side. And I've got a little funnel. If you're in Ningbo and you need one of these funnels, just drop by the center and I'll give you one. So this is my tea tree. Okay, I don't touch the inner lid. and it says the ratio is 2 drops, but I'm going to multiply that by 5. So that would be 10 drops. Okay, 10 drops of tea tree. And now I'm going to use frankincense. It's a brand new bottle of frankincense. Oregano oil. So 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's 10 drops of frankincense. And it's supposed to be 3 drops. So 5 times 3 is 15. 15 drops of oregano oil. Whoops. Bring it there. It's a little bit blocked. Okay, and then I have 4 drops. So 4 times 5 is 20 of lemon. Lemon, and then 20 drops of Oregano. Okay, so now that's all in there. Oh dear, my nose is running. And now I'm going to, oh, that's not a dropper bottle. Excuse me for a minute, that's actually a roller bottle. Second, I need to get my cup. Tripping over cords here. So I'm not going to use my fingers. Okay, can you see how I use the cap to get that off? And then I'm going to put this here. Put the cap on. I don't even touch it with my fingers. Okay. Squeeze it on, shake it around, and that's my flu bomb. Now, how I'm going to use this now is I want to do a roller bottle. So I'm going to take 10 drops of this blend. Okay, 10 drops of this. I'm going to add some of the FCO. I love the way that it's got this little spout on it now. And then I'm just going to put probably about 30 drops. So 10, so that's about 40 drops in there. Put the lid on this. And then I have a roller bottle cap, and I'm going to pop the roller bottle cap in there. Okay, so that's now, it's got the oil, if you can see that. It's the blended oil with the fractionated coconut oil, and that is okay to go, and I can use that on the back of my neck. I can actually feel my neck being a little bit hot and my glands a little bit hot. So I've got this flu in the early stages, which is good. Or this cold, I should say. Don't want it to turn into a flu. It's got a bit of my hair caught in it. Okay, and then I just pop the lid on that, and I'll carry that around in my pocket. Well, I would if I had my apron on. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you how to do is the spray bottle. The spray bottles is useful if you've got a sore throat. So what I'm going to do here now is that's my spray bottle. Whoops, that was a bit of the tube came off. Okay, make sure that your tube is connected. It's got a bit of a bend in it. Let's see if that works. If it doesn't, I'll fix that up later. And then what we do is pop 10 drops. Okay, maybe a little bit more. And then we pop fresh drinking water. That should be fine. And we put a spray thingy. Actually, what I might do is I might actually cut this. It looks as though it's a little bit long. To remember is to have my, next time to have my recipe handy and have all my tools. Prior preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. There you go. So I pop that in there and okay, so that fits quite nicely now. Oops. Yep. Okay, so I'll just shake it up. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could put a bit of alcohol in there, but some people are against the use of alcohol. Alcohol would also act as a bit of a, it could be very drying on your throat, but it could also help to kill bacteria. Okay, so just like this. Okay, helps with sore throat. And that's not too strong. Okay, so that's the roller bottle and the spray. What do we got here? How did that get here? Oh, okay. The next one I'm going to do is the capsules. And so I have these veggie caps. You might be able to order those from America. I've bought them in China before, but it's been a bit dodgy. Never quite sure if they're really veggie caps. So anyway, you take the capsule parts, 2 little pieces, okay, and you take the longer piece, and it's quite simple. I know why I got confused. The cap of this bottle has cheer written on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that in the capsule, okay, and I'll pop 1, 2 drops. Take that out. Now, of course, if you were going to make these, you'd probably make a couple of them, you know, and pop the top of the capsule on. So it's like that. Can you see the oil in there? Now, of course, this isn't a very pleasant oil to take. If you pop it in your mouth like that, it'd be quite pungent. It's 2 drops of oil, and there's no fractionated coconut oil put in there. It's just as it is. Pop it in there and swallow it. And then that's done. And that's my flu bomb. So I'm going to finish there and I will share the recording. So I hope that you found that useful. If you do, please share some comments in the group and let us know how you go with it. Take some pictures. Okay, take care. Bye.